We are approaching the end of a year and then the start of the next year. How can we end this year really strong and set a strong foundation to move into next year? So, going from one year to the next year is a great time to assess where you are in life and where you want to be and how to jumpstart your plans to get there. Now, a lot of people think, well, we're getting to the end of this year, I'll just start next year. But what often happens is if you put it off, we just keep putting things off. And when we put it off to start the next year, often when the new year starts, we're busy getting back into the thick of things because we've lost some time with holiday plans, with traveling, with parties, and we're just getting back into things, and we often get backed up, and we're less likely to take on new things. There's even a day about the second week in January that's been named Quitter's Day because a lot of people make New Year's resolutions and want to accomplish things in the new year. And they say, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to look for a new job, I'm going to start going to the gym or whatever. And within 2 weeks into the new year, they've just forgotten their goals because they're busy doing things that they need to catch up with and thinking of in the new year, and they're not thinking of the holiday anymore or holiday plans they had. So New Year's resolutions often get lost. The statistics actually show there's a very, very low percentage of people who actually accomplish New Year's resolutions. It's in the single digits, like 3 to 5%. And that's because the time of year is not only not the best, but it's really not a great time to start something new because, again, we're busy catching up with things we didn't do in December. We're busy with things that we often do when a new year starts personally and at work. So I always tell people the best time to really push forward is before the year ends, because we really can have motivation and say, you know what, before this year ends, I think I can take some steps. And even small steps get you moving and get you started. Those are often the hardest things to do, to get started, to get moving, the small steps. Once you take the small steps, it's easier to take larger steps. So don't wait for the year to start. Think now. What can you do now? It's really efficient to use this time before New Year's resolutions, before the calendar changes, before the year changes. Let's get started. Now, you might think, and I might, if I were talking to you, I might ask you, what goals do you want to move forward in? And lots of times people forget or have a hard time identifying what really they need to make their lives happy and successful and satisfying. So I'm going to suggest a few things to do. One, think back to January of this year. You're thinking back almost a year. What did you want to achieve this year? What were your goals? Can you remember what you wanted? A lot of people, it's like Quitter's Day is in January. You can't even remember by this point what you wanted. Or for a lot of people, they'll think, well, I'm just so busy, I didn't even have goals in mind. And if that's the case, you just don't feel capable of reaching goals because you don't know how to do it. We're going to talk about that today as well. So, and can you think of any goals, anything you wanted to accomplish that you did accomplish this year? If you did, congratulations. I encourage you to celebrate and really feel great about the achievement and accomplishment that you had, that really helps set you up for your next achievement and accomplishment. So let's move from last year of what you were thinking of. What are things you can think of now that you'd really like to accomplish and that you don't even want to wait for the end of the year? What are some small steps you can take? Are you looking to improve your health? Would you like to, for many people, they want to lose weight or start going to the gym or start an exercise program? Anything financially that you might want to accomplish that you can take some small steps, save some money now to put aside. Anything with relationships with a partner or kids or a friend that you might be able to take some small steps now. And I really encourage people to think in detail about the areas in life that you can improve, that you can make better, that you can fine-tune to make your life the happiest, most successful, most satisfying life we can make for you. Let's create your best life. And let's think about all the areas where we can make things better for you. So let's talk also about my next suggestion to you is how can we close the open loops on things that you're working on? What have you started that you might have let fall through the cracks? I know that for years, I as a hobby like to crochet, and I very often will start sweaters or a tablecloth or a big project. And I'll work on it for a while and put it aside, and things just don't get done. This is a great time to pick up those projects and get them going, finish those open loops. What in your life might be an open loop that you've worked on? Maybe something you're writing or an art project or a letter that you're writing to somebody or a project for work. What loop can you close? And let's talk about the next suggestion that I have for you, and that is to think about what is your process, your system for reaching goals, and do you have one? Many people, in fact, don't have a process, and they just kind of think in their mind, I want to accomplish this, but they don't really think of a pathway. They don't really create steps. They don't have a system, and that's why they don't reach as much as they can reach. We learn in schools math, science, history, reading. We learn lots of topics, but we're never taught to reach goals, how to move forward in life. And we need to learn this as adults. Very often, people don't know how to set goals and how to reach goals. So I really encourage people to do that and learn it almost as a student learning a topic. You can really learn it in a short period of time. And when you do that, you can really increase your productivity. You can increase your focus. You can really make direct pathways to where you are and where you want to be, and make your life more successful, more happy, more perfect, so that you have the life that you want to lead rather than the default life of living in what comes to you. I want you to think about areas in your life, and the last suggestion I'm going to suggest is you do an audit in 8 areas, in 8 topics where you might improve your life, where you might want to make things better. So the first area is work and career. What would you like to do in your work and career to make it better, to make yourself more successful? Do you want a better title, better different responsibilities, um, more money, more influence, more power? What are the things in your work that are important to you? And I suggest you write down and take some notes on these. I always, when I talk to people, I take notes on these so I can go back and build goals and help people really create the pathway to their best life. The second area that I want you to think about is your home and your personal life, your personal family. What about your relationships, maybe with a partner or a spouse, or with your children? Do your children have any milestones that you want to help them with? If they're young, helping them sleep through the nights, or be more adventurous in trying new food, or maybe to help them get them through temper tantrums, those terrible twos. Or if they're older, to help them build independence and be responsible and accountable for their actions, those tweens and teens. What about your home setup, your home organization? Are you organized or are you cluttered? Do you have place to put things where you want them? Is your home beautiful the way you'd like it? The next topic is health. What would you like to do to support and improve your health? For many people, it's to lose weight. Some people to start health habits like going to the gym or exercising. And what about your finances? Do you keep track of your finances, or do you live in default and you just put your money, your work money, into a bank account and just see what grows? When you're responsible, you really can create a lot more than living in default. What about number 6, another topic area? When you're not working, what do you do for fun, for hobbies, for recreation? And a lot of people say to me, I'm so tired, I don't have time for fun or recreation. But it's really important to take that time. And we spoke about fun and hobbies and recreation. I also include category number 7 is stress management and self-care. What do you do to take care of yourself? We live in a stressful world. There are a lot of challenges around us, and we need to minimize stress. Even though there are challenges in our life, we don't have to internalize them as stress. We can learn to handle challenges without feeling stressed, and by feeling empowered and feeling in control, rather than feeling out of control and that life happens to us. So there's a lot we can do to feel more empowered and prepared for the world that we live in. And what about personal growth? What would you like to see in your life, in your dream life? Is there an advanced degree that you've had on your mind? Either something that you want or something that would help at work? Is there something that you've wanted to do, to learn a language, to start a sport or a hobby, an art or a music or sports? And another category, we spoke about your home and your personal family, the people you live with. What about your other family and friends, your social circle, your social connections? We know that social connections are really important in our lives. And it's really essential to think about what you put into your connections, how your connections are, the quality, the quantity, how much you spend with people, the quality of the time, what you want, and who you want to be around. So these are all really important. And when you can master these areas, you can create your most happy, most successful, most satisfying life that can make you feel like you have control in your life, not that life is out of your control. that you won't live in the default mode that whatever happens, happens, but you will create the circumstances, the life that you want to live by being aware, by being mindful, and by taking steps, often small steps, easy steps, not even time-consuming steps, but to be and stay aware and stay on track. And when you put all of these areas together, you know what happens. It helps you create your happiest, most successful, most satisfying life, where you have such confidence and such joy, you feel that life is under your control. No more stress and chaos. Even when things that are challenging occur, you know that you can handle them and that you'll come out on a strong side. So I want you to think about the things that you can do and feel confident that you can still finish this year strong, even by taking some small steps, some small intentional steps. And then you can set yourself up with a good foundation to start the next year so that you won't get to Quitter's Day and be lost. You'll be on your pathway already starting your next successes for your next year. If this is your first time working with me, I'm Dr. Ellen Ettinger, and I love to help busy women get out of the stress mode and feel more in control of their lives so they can go on to create their happiest, most successful, most satisfying life and get out of the stress mode, the life of chaos, and feel that you are in charge of your life. You're the creator, the architect of your life, in control, moving forward. And again, we don't learn as children or in college or even as adults how to bring goals to reality, how to reach goals. So it's really important and helpful to learn so that you can create a better life. Those of you who know and who've worked with me know that I have a Success Builders Club and a High Achievers group. If you are interested in those groups, and those are really high performers who learn the skills and who talk with me about the steps that they can take to create their best life, I'd be happy to talk to you if you think that you might be interested in either of those areas, or if you have some general questions, even some small steps that I can give you to get started and move forward to end this year on a strong note, and to be sure that you're starting your next year in your strongest position, ready to reach even more goals. So there are a few things you can do if you want to move forward on this. One is I will put my calendar in the comments section, and I would be happy to speak to a limited number of you in our group to help put you on that path to end this year on a high note, really feeling successful, and to set up that pathway so you're already starting and moving in the new year towards your next successes. And of course, if you're in our group, you know that every Sunday at 8 o'clock, I have a new topic, and I will be in our group doing a talk on a topic. So join me every week in Facebook. If you are watching this in YouTube, please hit subscribe and hit like as well, please. But if you hit subscribe, you will know when I come out with my next trainings, my next teachings, so you can benefit. And I will also put my calendar availability so you can try to set up an appointment as well if I can be of support to you. So again, I can't wait to help people move forward to create your best lives. Let's take advantage of the time left in this year. Let's end it on a strong note and build a strong foundation so that you can move into next year knowing you're on the path, you're moving, you're getting your way to success. Let's talk soon.